trade my heart. I take a blind eye and a cold shoulder.
So congratulations on the album, Queen of the In-Between. So shall we, let's start off our little chat with what that means to you, being the queen of the in-between.
Well, it kind of comes from, I guess, just I'm always the friend and among my friends that is always one like, sure, why not? Or I'm in between decisions, and it's kind of my personality. And it kind of came from them making fun of me for that. And I was just like, well, queen of the in-between, just, and that's where the song comes from. And I think it's pretty relatable to a lot of people.
Right. So this is your first solo album. You're in a couple of other bands that are kind of Cajun and New Orleans or origin. So was it a big deal for you to kind of step away from that stuff and make this record?
It was. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I write songs. I write songs in all of, in those veins with Cajun, country, old time, kind of all those veins. But I also have been writing songs outside of that for years and wanted to do a project because I do love playing, non-traditional music. I love, playing in friends' rock bands, friends, all kinds of bands, and just being out of the box, not putting my songwriting in any sort of box. And this is that project, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to do more of that. And this is kind of a jumping off point for that.
Right. So the album was released in the middle of June. So what was it like releasing the album in this? And did you do anything to celebrate? I don't know if you're in lockdown mode down there or not.
Yeah, we actually, I'm totally vaccinated as of now, and I have been since about April.
Right.
But we were still kind of on lockdown until about, I guess, mid-May.
Right.
And it's kind of slowly but surely things are happening. It's still kind of all up in the air, but we did have a release show here. But as far as touring, it's going to be kind of hard probably until the fall or winter. But I feel good about it. It's probably the weirdest year ever to try to put out an album.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Luck of the draw. But
how was the release party? The show?
It was really fun. It was great. I had everybody that played on the album there. We just performed the whole album, and had a friend of mine who actually did the graphic design for the album spin records after. So brought his vinyl collection, and we just had a really good time. And yeah, it was good to see everybody. And that was the first time we had gotten together and played since we had recorded the album, probably, because it wasn't that long after that everything went to lockdown land. So
my understanding was the album was begun to be recorded back in 2018. Is that right?
Yeah, we started. We kind of had started arranging everything, and I had, given everybody demos of everything in the summer of 2018, and then it was kind of all finished, kind of halfway through 2019, I guess. And yeah.
And what were the sessions like? Where'd you record? Was it in Lafayette there?
We did them in my friend Joel Savoy, who plays on the record, his studio out in the country in Eunice, Louisiana, which is about 45 minutes from Lafayette.
Right.
And we basically kind of hunkered down when we had everything kind of finalized and arranged and all the parts and everything. We kind of hunkered down for a week or 2 weeks, really, and just kind of put ourselves in the zone, in the studio headspace, and just stayed out there, camped out, recorded every day, and just, it was really fun. It was like a little bubble of the record world for a couple of weeks. And then, we did overdubs and stuff later on too. And that always takes, some time, getting all the little sparkles added. But
Yep.
Yeah.
I have those sparkles. Absolutely. You mentioned the folks that you're playing on your record. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of your bandmates in your Cajun band are playing on this record too. So what were they thinking about the fact that, we're doing something else other than our usual gig with you?
Well, we it was really fun. It was fun because Stafford, who's on the album, we travel around in the band Foot Fillet, and then Megan, who's singing on the album, we're in a band together, Timon, and then Joelle and I travel as a duo a lot. And it was fun. It was like such a nice break to get, just to be like, well, we could do anything. This could sound like anything. We could put any instrument we want. We can have the baritone guitar. Let's have the Wurlitzer, and
Right.
It was really great. It was like a breath of fresh air and just a lot of fun. Really nice, creative project, and
Right.
kind of just freeing. And we all had a really good time, and they all play all kinds of music, and we all love all kinds of music. We were like listening to all kinds of weird stuff all the time. We're not just like sitting at home listening to the Boffa Brothers all day, but it was really fun. And it made us all, I think, want to do more of it. So
Right. Very cool. Sounds like fun. So the album begins with a song called Beginnings and Ends, and there's a video that goes along with it. There's kind of shoplifting or something and floating heads and all that.
Call me a fiend or call me a friend. I call it like I see it, though my sanity's on me.
it's actually, we did a little video for that. Actually my corner store, and they're just like, I'm in there all the time. So I was like, do you guys mind if I fake rob you? They're like, oh yeah, of course. But it was really fun. Yeah, it was the getaway vehicle and everything. That was silly, but fun. Yeah.
And what can you tell me about the song itself? Anything that we need to know?
That song in particular, it's, I guess I wrote that at a kind of weird transitional part of my life that happened. Like I got a divorce about 3 years ago now. Right. And it was just like it was a mutual thing, and it was just kind of like the closeness of beginnings and ends, and how they can be a beautiful thing but also a scary thing. That's kind of where the idea for the song came from. But
right.
And that they're kind of one and the same sometimes.
And not to pry into your personal life, but your ex-husband also is working on the record, right?
Oh yeah, Joelle and I were married for a number of years, and and we still play music together. So it's all, it's a weird world, but
yes, it is.
It's all good.
Exactly. You also have a tune called "Bring the House Down," which is kind of a bluesy vocal. I'm curious about your vocals. What kind of environment were you? How did you record those? Were you kind of all by yourself, or?
I wallow in the window, hang shadows by the door, sip water and sleep is nice. I bring the house down.
We kind of, for some of them, not all of them, but for Bring the House Down in particular, I was like I was in an isolation booth, and the band was kind of in the rest of the studio. And so that was one of the ones that we kind of did live all together. There were some where I was in the main room doing kind of like scratch vocals with the band, so I could kind of direct what was going on, and then went back and worked on the vocals after. But that one in particular was I remember we did that one at night, and it was like raining outside, and you can kind of hear it at the beginning of the track, because we were like, well, let's just like record some of the rain sound. It's kind of spooky and vibey.
Right.
And we just like did that one kind of all together. I was isolated, and but we were just recording that all in the rainy, spooky vibe, and I think it really kind of comes through in that track.
Great. Now I read somewhere that one of your favorite albums is by Gene Clark, who former Bird, and his No Other album, it's kind of one of those albums that when it was released in the 70s, nobody paid any attention to, and now it's kind of gained.
I think it's coming. It's made a second coming of.
How did you become of it? How did you know about it?
I actually came across that album because I love the Birds, but also there are these Dillard and Clark albums, and I heard some song from one of those randomly, and I was like, I need these records. So I bought those two record. I was like, I need this immediately. I got on Discogs. I was like, where is it?
Yeah.
And I loved those. And so I was like, well, what else? You know, it kind of like led me. It was a little gateway to being like, oh, what else did Gene Clark do? And you know, I just got into his solo projects. And that one in particular just stood out to me. I love the textures and all of the songs, and the guitar sounds are amazing, and just the background vocals, especially on the title track.
Right.
But yeah, I just kind of, yeah, that was definitely an album I keep coming back to and being inspired by.
One other song I wanted to touch on was Stop on the Way, because it had the guitar riff, which reminded me very much of the Beatles. And
Sure.
Specifically, I Want You from, you know, She's So Heavy.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if that was intentional or just it happened.
West I'm speechless and jaded. Knees on the gravel and head in the clouds. And there's tender feelings, but they can't fill all the holes that we're digging.
That wasn't really intentional, although I do love, who doesn't love the Beatles, and who is not constantly inspired by them, whether you know it or not. but actually, I think I was listening to a lot of Ty Segall at the time.
Okay.
And I don't know, I don't know what I was thinking necessarily, but I was just like, I wrote that song, and I kind of wrote it on messing around on my Telecaster, which I don't usually write songs on that, but
Right.
I was just having fun with it. And that song kind of just came out of that. And it started with just doing that riff. And I was like, no, I'm going to go into like a country waltz from here. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't come from wanting to sound like that song, but I agree. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that. It's like, there's a few people that have been like, oh, cool, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And are you playing it on the
oh,
record?
yeah.
Are you playing the guitar on the record?
On that one, no, I'm playing the acoustic on that track. On the record, Joelle is playing electric guitar on that one, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. So what have you got up your sleeve next? You feeling good about having put this out, even though it's kind of weird times?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling good about it. I mean, I love how it came out, and I really enjoyed the whole process, and we're all really proud of it. And it's just, it makes me want to start on the next one, honestly. I'm like,
Right.
okay. I mean, we're planning some tours in the fall, winter, like I said. But other than that, I mean, I already have quite a few songs. I want to go back in the studio, so I'm ready. It's inspiring to complete a project and be like, okay,
Right.
It's not impossible.
Gotcha. All righty. Well, thank you for spending time with me, telling me all about it, and thanks for making the record. It sounds great.
Thanks, Marty.
Come down to New Zealand if you get a chance.
I would love to. I've only been there one time, and I loved it, and I would love to come back. So
Fantastic.
I'll get in touch if I do.
Please do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Marty. Bye.